Welcome back, golfers. I have been on vacation for the last month. I haven't touched my clubs at all, and I decided to get back out because guess what? I got a tournament coming up and I got to prep for it. So if you're like a lot of golfers, you try to cram at the last minute because you sign yourself up for a golf tournament and you're not prepared for it. So I'm out here trying to get my feels back, and I'm going to give you guys some tips on how to get your golf game ready for a golf tournament, even if you're cramming. So stay tuned. Today I'm at this beautiful facility in Lompoc, California called La Purisma Golf Course. And I grew up playing this golf course quite a bit in tournaments, and it kind of gives me a good sense of old feels when I come to a place like this. So today's video is going to be on how do you prep for a golf tournament last week, meaning you have like a week before your tournament, or you got 2 weeks before your tournament and you haven't touched the clubs, you're dusting them off out of the closet and you're coming out just to get ready for it. And even if you have been playing, like, how do you get ready for a tournament? This is going to give you a lot of help. So stay tuned. We're going to head over to the driving range because that's where we need to start. So once you decide to get back into playing, getting ready for a tournament, the thing you want to do is just get to the range and start working off all that rust. If we can work off the rust, and we can get ourselves back into a good sequencing and really get a good feeling of, the length of our swing, getting a full turn and just moving from our full backswing, making our transition, getting to the finish, we're going to make getting back to playing consistently much easier. When you're first coming back, I would definitely try to find a driving range that has grass on it. It gives you a better sense of where your swing's at, and it helps you fine-tune your impact much better. You can watch where your divots are going. You can see the depth of your divots, toe down, heel down, whatever it ends up. We want nice square divots, obviously, but it's going to give you a better sense of where you're at. If you're hitting off mats, it's too easy to get away with shots and get a false sense of being comfortable getting ready for a tournament. If you're playing off the turf, it's more realistic, like you could be on the golf course. When you get to the driving range, the thing you want to do is grab an alignment stick. We got to recalibrate our body and our eyes to see what we're actually doing. Our bodies try to fool us all the time, so throw down an alignment stick, aim it at your target, and then just get comfortable getting into your setup position, looking down that target line, getting set, feeling comfortable in your setup position, and then just going ahead and executing. And each time we're just moving to the target. We're not really concentrating too much on the big aspects of our swing. We're just feeling out that backswing, feeling out the transition, just getting to a finish. We don't want to get too caught up in technicalities if we're getting ready to cram for a tournament. If our tournament's coming up next week, we don't want to sit there and go, I got to do all these things and have all these swing thoughts in our head. That's going to cloud up the process. It's going to slow down the thought process when you're swinging, and it's going to make it harder for you to make a good smooth swing. So just keep it simple when you're coming back. So now that we got our alignment stick down there, the other aspect that's real simple to check is check your grip. Look at where those V's are sitting in your hand, the two knuckles in the lead hand. Feel that right hand or the trail hand on that club, with that V working on that same line as that lead hand. You want to feel that hand's not pulling underneath, not sitting too much on top. Just, if we're holding the club, it's just the hands just come into it. So you just want to feel a nice relaxed grip. So when you're first coming back out to the range to get that first practice in after a long period of not playing or not practicing, grab a wedge, get comfortable with different length swings, practice those half swings, 3/4 swings, and then go to full, and just create rhythm, create the right sequencing and the right timing with that wedge before you start hitting other clubs. After you get the wedge down, go ahead and grab a driver. Go ahead and grab a driver, because that's a club that you're really going to need to perform well with coming into a tournament. We're probably not going to hit a lot of greens in regulation coming back after a break, but if we can focus on getting the ball into play consistently off the tee, then you're going to struggle much less. all those shots off the fairway, which are much harder to do, it will become less stressful. So after you've hit that driver, go ahead and grab some mid to long irons, and the driver helped you widen out your shoulder to get a bigger rotation. Now we're going to grab some irons. Your swing should be fairly loose at this point. Hit those irons, get comfortable with those, and then we'll be ready to go to the practice green, and then out to the golf course. After we got into the driving range, let's get to the chipping green and the putting green where you can get some wedge shots around it, and let's get some work done, because you're not going to hit all the greens coming back. If you're cramming for a tournament, you're going to be trying to get up and down. You're going to be scrambling around the greens a lot. So get your practice in, hitting wedge shots, getting comfortable with that ball in different positions, different lies, finding that lead edge again underneath that surface, using that bounce. And if you haven't seen my videos on chipping, go check those out. Those will really help you. After you got all those wedge shots dialed in, or at least get comfortable with the wedge in your hands again around the greens, grab that putter, start working on short putts, even if it's like 2 feet away. What we're trying to do is recalibrate our eyes, just like we did on the driving range, recalibrate our eyes to get that putter aiming where we're trying to start the ball. Once we start making those short ones, then we can work back a little bit. And you can see I got alignment sticks here. This also really helps. If you put 2 alignment sticks down, or even put a chalk line down, just helps see the line a little bit better as we go. Because if we know our strokes hitting the ball where we're starting, it's going to be much easier to get the ball in the hole, or at least close to the hole, than if you're sitting there struggling to figure out, well, where am I aiming? You know, that's the question we don't want in our head. Am I aim right? If you're uncomfortable with where you're aiming, then you're surely going to struggle with where the ball is going to end up, and it's going to be very inconsistent. So focus on training those eyes to aim right where you want that club head to go. Then just start focusing on speed. You know, every golf course has a little bit different speed in their greens, but if you get down the speed on your putts, then you can make more putts, certainly. So we get aim down, we get speed down, and then it just comes down. Last is read. You know, you can practice reading greens. You know, after you hit a putt, you don't see many people do this. They hit a putt, and if you got alignment sticks here, it really helps. Hit a putt, okay, why didn't that go in? You come back behind it, you kneel down, you check out the read on this green, and like, okay, it looks like it has a little bit of tilt this way, maybe it's less than I thought, maybe it's more than I thought, and that's going to give you, ability the feeling that you can make more putts. Right speed, right direction, good reads. Now you got a recipe for lower scores. So after you got this down, got those 10 feet and in, a lot of practice 10 feet and in, because that's where the majority of your putts are going to be. Then practice some longer ones, just get comfortable with hitting a longer speed putt, so then you can judge your distance control. And if we're doing this for a week or 2 before our tournament, we're going to be pretty dialed in by the time we get there. All right, so we made it through our practice. We went to the driving range, we got some chipping in, we practiced our putting, we got that all dialed in. Now we're on the first tee. And that first tee shot, especially when you haven't hit a tee shot for a while, it's going to give you a little bit of the jitters, but that's okay. We're going to get past that and get through it. So I have a tournament coming up in just over a week, and I got to get those same jitters out and just try to get back to being comfortable so I can play well in that tournament. So when I come out for the first time, what I'm going to do is like we did on the driving range, I want my alignment to be right. I want my body to be set up where I want to hit it, and I want that to be consistent. So just like I calibrated over there, I'm actually going to take an alignment stick out here and do the same thing. Today is just practice, so I'm going to throw an alignment stick down on the ground. Aim it down that middle of that fairway, or down the left side for me on this one. And that's just gonna allow my body to set up where it should, and then I'll swing away from there. So golfers, some of the other things you need to make sure you do when you first come back. Check your grips. Your grips, when they sit in the closet or sit in your car, sit in the garage, they're gonna get slick. So before you come out, grab a bucket of water, wash those grips down with a little bit of soap, take a towel, just rub them down. They'll make them nice and tacky again, so then you can get, your hands won't have to grip so tightly down on that club, which is gonna make everything not work properly. So get some water, get some soap, wipe them down, keep them tacky, and it'll make golf so much easier. Second shot on this par 5, I'm not trying to be a hero today. You know, I haven't been playing, so I want to just put myself in position, give myself another swing. I'd rather take as many swings as I can when I'm out practicing in a situation where I'm prepping for a tournament than trying to just go for broke and hit crazy shots. We're just trying to hit it down there around the 100-yard marker. Give us a wedge in. Golfers, my next tip I'm going to give you guys is go get a practice round of the golf course you're planning on competing at. If you get a practice round, don't go out there and try to play for a score. I want you instead go out and just get a sense of the golf course, start working on creating a game plan for how you want to attack the golf course, how you want to play it, and that will give you a better opportunity to do well at the course. So third shot, first hole, got 92 yards. So when we're out here practicing, we want to be working on dialing in our distance, because dialing in our distance is going to help us get the ball closer to the hole. Even if we miss the green right or left, it's at least going to be in the ballpark. If we don't know our distances, we're going to struggle. So when we're out here hitting shots, just like this one, so I got 92 yards, a little uphill, probably going to play 100, around 102. And now just a hair right of the pin, and looking at my divot, kind of going that same direction. So even if I miss a shot like that when I'm practicing, just throw down another ball. Give yourself another shot. Redial it in, and then that's going to give you more confidence going forward, because you're like, okay, didn't work that time. Maybe I figured out it was alignment right there. So I changed my alignment a little bit, changed my setup position. Now I'll start again. And that one's much more online. Golfers, another really good tip I can give you for prepping for tournaments, especially cramming for tournaments, is you gotta get those jitters out, and a good way to do it is to go play with either some competitive golfers, really anybody you can go out and play with, and just having those other people there with eyes on you will give you a way to get the same feelings you're gonna have when you're playing in the tournament. So go play with some other golfers. It's always a good time to do that anyways, and just give yourself a little bit of pressure. So I missed that green just a touch to the right. Good position though, get up and down. So this just goes back to that practice we were doing before. We're just getting that feel around the greens, getting our touch back, soft hands, and when we hit this shot, even if I hit it bad, I'm just going to drop another ball and practice it again. Especially if you're playing by yourself and nobody's around. I play late in the day today, so I just give myself extra opportunities as much as I can. Get my feels back. I'll take that one. Right under the hole, 2.5 feet. Sets us up for that saving par. Like I was saying, give yourself opportunities. The more opportunities you get, the more practice you're going to have, the better it's going to end up. Golfers, thank you for watching today. I'm going to finish up this round But take those tips I gave you to prep for that tournament or cram for that tournament, and it'll help you get at least prepped to a point where you feel comfortable out there. You know, just take it easy, be patient with it. You haven't been practicing for a while if you're cramming for this thing. So when you're going out, just relax. It's not life or death. We're just gonna go out and have some fun. Golfers, if you got anything out of this video, hit that like or subscribe button. I put out videos once a week just to help you get better at this game. Remember, if your feet aren't working, your swing's not working. I'll catch you guys next time.